0981. Again, the WhatsApp line is 0809 444 0981, while the call line is 0201 448 9981. It's the last Friday in the month of August 2024. There will never be another August 2024, as I would often say. And I'm glad not just to be with you, but to have the company of the two musketeers. You already know them. They bring on their take, their informed take, and also their perspective and education on the different things that we discussed right here on Film Focus. The two angels from Edo State, and 5'6" men, right? So please welcome to my right, virtually, Irabor Oposu. Good morning.
Morning, Sean. Morning, Oris. What up?
Okay, okay.
You
Do you
always
still want
do
to do
this.
introduction, or has Irabor helped you out?
You always do this, but I'll forgive you again. And I would say, please welcome with me, Oris, otherwise known as Film Efiko.
That's not my name. That's the name of I should actually say it now. That's the name of my website, or rather of a new website we are making, focused on films, mostly African films anyway. Nigerian films and African films. So yes, thank you, Sean, and thank you, Rabo. Happy to be here.
Did you want to remove Nigerian films from the African films?
I think that because we are so big, it's people forget sometimes that Nollywood is a subset of something called African cinema. You get, so that's why I put it like that.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so it's starting on a pretty interesting note because remember the introduction I tried to give to you both that Irabor decided to just throw some sand into? Okay, so Oluwaseun says, Edo State and Angels. I don't know about that too. Gentlemen.
Can you imagine a person from the Yoruba Demon ethnic group is throwing shots? That's a little like throwing stones in the glass house.
If we should go by what they have said, if stories and anything that has been published online and people's experiences is anything to go by, I think people would disagree. I think Edo State men rank higher, Southern men rank higher in terms of heartbreak than compared to Yoruba men. That's why I said if social media stories and experiences are anything to go by, it looks like Delta State, Edo State, the headquarters of heartbreak, in fact, heart crushing.
Maybe sometimes I forget, but your name is Sean, actually. So your bias is clear. So no further comments.
How have you been? What's been up?
Well, on my end, I've just been trying to, I've been super busy over the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks, just trying to get this bloody website off the ground. Okay, you're looking at me like, okay, it's bloody censored. I'm sorry if I did bloody supposed to be censored on air. Anyway, but yes, I've been trying my best to get this website off the ground, and we finally succeeded, like I think last week. So yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that happened to me over the past month or so, actually. Rabo, you have interference at your end, by the way.
Like right now, like this?
Yeah.
Not anymore, but for the longest time. Okay, it's back. It's back.
That was why I had to ask him if he was watching.
It's pretty bad. Yeah.
Oh wow. I'm alone where I am, and there's nothing going on where I am, and
yeah. But are you like near an electrical source or something, or are you holding 2 phones?
Nope.
I mean, I just can't resist. But you're from Edo State. You're never alone wherever it is that you are. There are always some hints in your area. So, yeah. So
you succeeded in chasing Irabor off. Now he's gone off.
Blame it on the village people. You know what? We'll be back, and hopefully Irabor is back by then. If you're just listening in or you're just tuning in, you're welcome. You are just in time, right in time for what we're about to serve to you on Film Focus for this morning.
Everyone think about
You people want to show me Pepe? You want to show me Shege? I will return it. All right, so pretty much 1 minute plus, and then we're back. So what? I know the last time you wore this film Efiko thing. I don't think you mentioned the website the other time. I thought you said it was something that was given to you by someone.
No, I never said that. I never said that. What I said was I didn't enter my website, but I didn't say that it was given to me by someone because of course I did it. But yeah, it's yeah, no, but we've been working on it's been something I've been working on for since February, I think, or January this year. So yeah, so we've always had all of this, but I'm saying that the website itself just became live a few weeks ago. But even as it's live, there's still a lot of things you have to do. Figure out what goes today, what goes tomorrow, how do you design the website? There's loads and loads of stuff. But like I said, finally you can check it out, filmefiko.com. And yeah.
Okay. That's okay. All the best with getting it running.
Don't tell the best. You're supposed to be checking it right now. Put it in your phone and check.
Why?
You said?
Why? Why should I be checking it right now?
Because I'm on your show. It should be on mine.
You're on the show and you just talked about it, and a number of people just heard it. I'm working. Okay, we're back.
Thursday at 5:15 p.m.
Everything you need.
Love music and love life. You're listening to Smooth 98.1, and right now the show is called Film Focus. We focus on films, series, animations, documentaries, anything and everything that you can watch to have a good time as you have some sort of screen time. And that's what we do every Friday from 11 till 11:55 on Smooth 98.1. My name is Oluwaseun. And I think Irabor is struggling with his network, but it's good because Flyaway Peter, Paul is still here, and Paul being Oris. So Oris, has been a minute on the show. What's been up?
Yeah, just being a busy one. But if you mean specifically as concerning films, I attended the popular, I don't know if it's popular in Nigeria, but there's a big festival in Switzerland called the Locarno Film Festival. So I attended it virtually and wrote about some of the films showing there. So yes, that was one thing that happened in terms of film. I attended the premiere of Ramsey Noah's new film on Netflix, Tokumbo. What else? What else did I get up to? Yes, and like I said, I finally created a website called filmefiko.com. I think those are like the three broad big things I've been up to in a film-related manner. Oh yes, and because I'm part of the Golden Globes voting committee, I got a link to watch a series called Nobody Wants This, which I like. It's coming out on the 26th, by the way. Oh no, not 20. Oh, 26th of September of next month. But yeah, but I got an advanced screening opportunity.
So many things I think you need to let us in. So number one, you attended the premiere of Tokumbo. Now about Tokumbo, the movie, I don't know if you've been seeing some of the reviews and the comments, but I'll tell you some of the ones I saw, and I think I even shared this particular one with Irabor, because when we discussed on the show last week, he said he was going to go back to watch the film Tokumbo. Irabor, are you back?
No, it's not.
Okay, he's just connecting to the audio. Are you back now?
I'm here. Do you guys hear anything?
For now, nothing, and we hope it stays that way.
Yeah, but it's still there. It's still there, actually. Very subtly. It's there. But
okay.
So when you're not talking, just mute, Irabor. I think that would help.
All right, no wala.
All right.
Okay, so Irabor, while you were away, Oris was telling us about what he has been up to, and part of what he has been up to is going to the premiere, or at least he went to the premiere of Tokumbo, the Ramsey Noah movie that had a number of actors in there. And I said that there have been quite a number of reviews and comments about it. I don't know if you saw them. Chances are that you would see some of them because Twitter is a very slippery place and everything you say can get into another person's timeline. But I'll take this one from someone whose handle is Obaluaye. He said, everyone involved in the making of this movie, including the little girl, must be jailed for at least 17 years without food, water, and possibility of parole. They need to reflect on what they have done. And in the comment section, there were a lot of people who said yes, that it was so abysmal. Now, from a critic and analyst point of view, tell me, do you think they were just exaggerating it, or you think it was decent? Let's talk about Okumba the movie.
I think Twitter is a very unfortunate place for people who make things and put out in the world. This is not to say, of course, that they are not correct sometimes. They are correct. In fact, maybe many times actually. And they are also important because, of course, it's a way you can take the pulse of a group of people. But part of the problem with Twitter is that because it's limited to a certain amount of characters, at least if you didn't pay Elon's money, you have just about 180 characters to say something. People might give impressions, but not analysis of what a film in this particular case is about. So when you say people should be jailed, it's funny, it gets mentioned. Sheon listens to it and puts and Sheon reads it and mentions it on air. That's fine, but you are not telling us why. This is actually what separates the critic from, I don't know, the wannabes, wherever they are, is that part of your job, in fact, the chunk of your job is to say why. I feel this way about this. This is why, So I don't have the why in that matters, in this guy's tweet. So it feels like I'm not sure what you're talking about. Personally, when I saw the movie at the premiere, and I saw it again when it came out on Netflix, I wasn't particularly thrilled, but I would not go so far as to say that people should be jailed or whatever. Believe me,
It's an exaggeration.
Personally, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's bad, but not that bad, And again, I also believe that from a entertaining audience point of view, I think it's actually quite entertaining. The issue I have with the film majorly is the third act. For anybody who's seen it, there's a particular scene where a vehicle goes off a bridge. From that moment onward, I think the film just collapsed, But up until that point, I would have said, this is not necessarily terrible. But the problem I've always said with Nollywood is the writing. So in this case, the cinematographer of the film is Mohammed Atta, who is a very talented cinematographer. I think he's worked on a bunch of commercials and a bunch of music videos. You can clearly tell that this is a person who has a bit of showing off in his repertoire. There's certain shots in the film like, okay, this is just very clever. You don't need these shots, but you are Mohammed Atta, so you would do it. And the editing too is also very accomplished. But the problem when you think about all the technical departments for the film is the writing. And this is my problem with Ramsey, because at the premiere, somebody had said that Ramsey was very particular about certain things. It was like, we couldn't shoot today because maybe the weather wasn't right, the light wasn't right or something. So they would skip for a different day, even if that, of course, was extending production hours. But for me, that says something that, okay, Ramsey can tell if something isn't quite right, maybe visually. But like with a lot of Nollywood directors, I feel like they have a basic problem with reading a script and figuring out, okay, this isn't logical. This should be improved. Even if, but to be fair, even on that particular day, the screenwriter was also there, and she said that Ramsey made them do the script several times. I was like, okay, if that's the case, why is this last 20 minutes this bad? Because it's really, really terrible. The last few minutes of the film, it's just illogical. Somebody is supposed to be part of a particular plot, and she makes a phone call right in the police station where they are trying to solve the problem. And somebody over here, I'm just like, nah, this is lazy screenwriting. This is like writing 101. Don't do something like this. But anyway, they did do it. But yeah. So for me, it's bad, but believe me, I do not think it's that bad. Also, I think they've missed a trick. The film belongs in the cinemas. It doesn't belong on a streaming platform yet. But if you're familiar with Nollywood economics right now, the cinema might not be the greatest place if you can figure out a way to sell your movies straight to the streaming platforms. So I think that's why that has happened, because a lot of what's it called now? The shots in the movie and the way the way it's shot and the way it's edited tells you that, they wanted this film to be screened in the biggest possible screens you could find. But a lot of us unfortunately watch the film on the tiny screens of our phone, which I think reduces the scale. Maybe that's also why this guy has said people should be jailed, because he doesn't understand the scale of what he's watching because he's watching it on a small device. But then, I mean, I'm not in the guy's mind, so I wouldn't know. Anyway, but this is my broad thoughts about the film. And hey, you can read a review of it on filmefigo.com. I have to plug that in.
Well, right here, and looking at the screen, I have the review, and according to Afiko, it's 5.1, which I would say is, I don't want to use the word that comes to my mind. And according to the comments that
No,
precedes
it's bad, but yeah, it's bad, but not
this
that bad.
crisp, good-looking action thriller leaves all sense behind as it drives towards a conclusion. I don't think I want to watch a movie with such a comment. Irabor, what's your thoughts?
It's not the same thing as Jelly People, though.
Oh my God. I mean, just with the name Tokumbo, it definitely wasn't original. I didn't like the movie.
That is Ramsey's middle name, by the way. If you don't know, for people who are not aware, Tokumbo is Ramsey's middle name.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've given this example before whenever we talk about certain people in the industry and their levels, the level they've attained. So if maybe Mo Abudu or Ramsey Noah or Kunle Afolayan would release a movie today, I'm not talking about the time when, Kunle used to do films for African Magic, where he was cutting teeth. But now I'm talking about now, 2024. There are certain people that if they release a film, there's a way I'll criticize them against somebody who is just coming into the industry. So I'm a huge fan of Ramsey's directing. I believe Rattlesnake is one of the better movies that have been released in Nollywood, the past 5 to 10 years, even Living in
Which
Bondage.
one?
I mean,
Okay, Living in Bondage.
Rattlesnake,
Okay.
Hannah
Oh,
story
Rattlesnake.
and Living. Yeah.
Okay.
So those two is, aside, Inca the Pretty Serpent coming from Play Network. So those two films, like I use that to gauge Ramsey and I kind of put him on a particular pedestal, when it comes to directing. So when I saw this film, and I saw, the producer, the executive producers, people that, are seasoned in this industry. And when I watched the movie, I was just like, nah, I don't know what happened. I don't understand it. I'm glad that Adunia Ade, gave that performance, and I'm glad that Gideon Okeke gave his performance to a degree, where at some point I wasn't really feeling some scenes, but I mean, those two performances kind of just gave me life enough, as well as Funny Bone. There was a particular scene in his shop, Funny Bone, Adunia Ade, and Gideon. I think that's the best scene in that movie, so, but altogether, nah. In fact, Oris was mentioning when the car went off the bridge, that's when he felt the thing just, nosedive. Now, lie. In my own opinion, I think before then even said, was it when, like, you're trying to pinpoint, like, okay, so what's going on? Even the phone call thing in the bathroom, I'm like, how? I mean, the Majid Michelle reveal, like, I just like, what is going on here? And the story now reminded me of Muri and Co. I just what are we doing? It just didn't add up to me. You get, and I was very disappointed. Disappointed is the word for me, in my own opinion. I was disappointed because of the people behind the film and the showing everything. I just wasn't happy with it. This movie, if we're being honest, oh, it's an African Magic movie at best, a TV film at best, in my own opinion. I don't think it's worthy on Netflix or even
It's an
cinema.
African.
And even if
Sorry.
we didn't have COVID or anything, and this film came out during it was looking, I don't think it would even hit 50 or 100, though, even if that's the only movie showing in cinema, because by the time 4 or 5 or 10 people watch it, the word will spread generally and people will, tell you to not go there. But again, the dynamics of Nollywood is very tricky. You see some people getting 100 million consistently and some people are not, and it's just a very funny place. But typically this film, I was utterly disappointed.
Well, looks like you're not the only one disappointed. According to some comments, by the way, you can chip in your comments on WhatsApp. That is 0809-444-0981. Again, WhatsApp line, just your name also. Please include your name as you send the message. 0809-444-0981. Tayo from Aja says, Oris is just going about all this place. Let me go in your place. It took someone falling off for the film to fall off. It's second hand like Tokumbo. Oris, well done. Anyway, majority carries the vote. Thumbs down. This is not cinema. Ifeturi, please release Irabor's internet from bondage. We need him. What's going on here? All right. Isaac says, good morning, house. Number one, how can a mother whose child is missing or was kidnapped wear makeup all through? Number 2, how come she was still comfortable wearing shoes? Number 3, how can it be raining and the little girl didn't get wet? To mention a few. See, and we can go on and on about Okumbo. At this point, let's just let it go. Oris, I think you wanted to say something in defense of Okumbo, I guess.
Yeah, not. I mean, it's sort of in defense, but mostly
Yeah, okay,
yes, in defense, but not in defense of the film, but in defense. So I'm trying to protect the film from what's it called now? From excessive harshness. Something that Irabor said about like being disappointed because of the people who are behind the film. Irabor, your noise is there. Can you mute? Yeah, so something Irabor said about this being disappointed because of the people who are behind the film. I understand that. But like I said, frankly, I do not think that there is much to be disappointed by. I have never been a big chunky fan of Ramsey-Nouah's filmmaking, to be honest. And that's because I felt his peak was the very first film he did, which is Living in Bondage. I don't think highly of Rattlesnake. So when people say they are disappointed by certain filmmakers, I'm like, I'm not sure this is exactly his level. I'm not sure why you expect something particularly great. And the same thing for Kunle. Kunle too was great in the beginning. You know, and he only had a brief period stuff for Africa Magic, which was 3 movies, by the way, sometime in the, I don't know, early 2000s. Anyway, but yes, he too, same thing. The people who you should be disappointed by are the younger filmmakers who are really, really trying to do what they possibly can. Everybody is trying to do something super, super commercial. This film, I insist, frankly, if it was in the cinemas, I think it would have made a lot of money. Maybe not, of course, not the Funke level, but I insist that it would have made
Define a
decent
lot
money.
of money.
You said?
Define a lot of money.
Irabor mentioned 100 million. I think it probably would have gotten there, or just close to that, actually.
No, I said
I
it should be
don't
less
think
than
it
100.
would. I don't think it would be up to 100. If it ever gets up to 50, it's probably because of star power.
Yes, yeah, but up to 50. No, that's not fair. One, there is star power. Two, I would have assumed they have money for what's it called, for marketing. And three, the people who would have seen the film initially, some of them would have been very angry. A lot of them would have been very pleased. You overestimate the average film intelligence of the Nigerian audience. It is not much, I can assure you. And so once they see a few things that will make people, I don't know, cheer in the cinemas, I think that would carry into the general public. So let's not make it look like Nigerian films are like these people. We are making movies that are like so great, and people are flocking because it's great. It's not true. It's marketing. Ramsey has a name, and he would have been able to like generate a lot of publicity for something like this. And it really looks good, by the way. I don't know why people are beefing. It really looks good. It's a really, really good looking film. Shame on the writing, but it's a great looking film.
At this point, I'm confused, Oris. I'm confused where to
What are you
place you
confused?
on this. It's like you're for everybody and you're for nobody. But no problem. I'm just going to let this go. And then we continue to some of the updates in the movie industry. So I'm sure you have all seen the news, the announcement about Nile Media Entertainment partnering with Moabudu for a new cinematic venture. What do you think about that?
I think it's okay. Irabor, you can go.
Yeah, collaboration. I always say it, SDG 17 is the key to any industry, in my own opinion. But I just have to give them kudos for pushing regardless, because right now the economy is nothing to write home about, and you're seeing people coming together to make investments in luxury viewing experiences. That to me, it's admirable in my own opinion. And who better than Moses Babatokwe, who has a lot of experience from the UK, a lot of experience in Nigeria with Filmhouse, now with Nile on his own. Then your partner in Moabudu, who also has a cinema production house and every other thing. So it's something I look forward to, because they said they're going to be building at least, is it 5 to 10 pods a year? So it's something that I'll go and check out for sure. So let's see how that, pans out. I know this will be for the Lekki VI audience, Ikoyi as well. People who would definitely want luxury and, a certain level of class when they are viewing films. So let's see how it pans out. I'd like to know their numbers by the time, maybe 6 months or 1 year eclipses.
Oris?
Yeah, I think it's a bit too ambitious to want to build 5 to 10 every year. I think maybe one or two, just a few. But they also said it's West Africa. So maybe what they mean by that is like it's not five in Nigeria and then another five in Nigeria again. Maybe it's like, I don't know, three in Nigeria or one in Nigeria this year and two in Ghana or something like that, you know. So maybe that's the idea because I think there is, if it is just for Nigeria and Ghana, there is certainly going to be a super saturation, which would not, which I don't think the numbers can back up. And especially as Irabor just pointed out, we are not in a great space economically. A lot of what they would require to build this stuff is going to be imported, and they're going to be charging in naira. So I feel like it's a really, really tricky thing to like embark on at the moment. What I would have suggested if I was in the room where this was being discussed was, can you improve the viewing experience by doing extracurricular stuff? Maybe, I don't know, getting one of the stars of a particular film to be like host an event today, to host another event tomorrow. Something that you can reduce the amount of capital outlay, not rather than build something new. That's what I would have suggested, but then I'm not the money guy. Moses and Mo are the are the two money people, so maybe they have insight into what I don't. But yeah, I really felt like I still feel like it's not the greatest it's not the greatest use of resources at this particular moment when the naira is in a huge, huge, huge slump. How do you want to charge? You know, people are already complaining that I think if you wanted to go to a movie these days, you probably need about 15,000 on the app if it's you on somebody. You know, so how do you want to charge for a luxury experience? Is it going to be 50,000 or is it going to be 100K? You know, it's tricky. So anyway, yeah, going forward, we'll see how it goes.
Well, just to recap some of the things and also to put it out according to what they are saying, according to the statement, it says that Ebony Life Cinemas has proudly held the #1 top spot in West Africa, recognized for our outstanding revenue, impressive admission numbers, and unparalleled luxury. So I guess at the end of the day, they're not trying to create affordable luxury. And I want to assume that they have done their market and the feasibility studies. They have probably sampled who their target audience will be. And you know how they would say it on the streets, there is money where it is. I just want to really assume that they have done all the studies, because otherwise it will be, I don't want to say disastrous. However,
no. They have the thing I think you should know is that people like people who can raise money like Mo and Moses, clearly they can't fail, you know. So even if this doesn't work out, they'll just change strategy. So it's not so a few millions will go, but nothing to shake anybody. So it won't be disastrous. It will never be.
Okay. So the partnership is expected to birth, like they have said, 10 luxury cinema pods every year in half a decade, and that will be in West Africa. So the pods will offer customers a private and intimate setting with plush reclining seats, personal concierge service, and access to curated film selections. So again, fingers crossed on that one. And for anyone looking for the A++ or the 5-star, maybe 10-star experience as touching a cinematic experience, then you can be on the lookout for what will be coming
I hope it's not
from
for films like Tokumbosha because Irabor will be very angry.
I didn't hear what you said.
Damn it. Irabor, did you hear what he said?
What did you say?
I said that I hope it is not going to be for films like Tokumbosha because you'll be very angry.
Maybe there will be an option for refund.
I'm telling you, in fact, that's what
hopefully.
if you don't like
There
this
has
film,
to be. Because in what they released, they said something about curated film selections. So, but
okay.
I think it's a beautiful initiative. And like you said, the collaboration is just great about taking Nollywood to different heights and exploring other things. Business opportunity. I'm all for that. All right, moving on. Let's talk about Joseph Okechukwu hinting on a new movie titled Osu. And the reason why I decided to pick up the story is because of the story itself. I mean, the movie is talking about the Osu caste system. That's an ancient Igbo practice that is characterized by social segregation and restrictions. And another reason why I picked this up is because you would see the face of Onyeka Wenu in that movie. So, any comments?
This is the very first time I'm hearing about this. So I'm not sure, I don't know who the filmmaker is, but of course I know who Onyeka is. And I also have a little bit of a historical perspective on Nollywood films on that subject. I think there was a film back in the day, which was a huge hit called Taboo. And that was like I think the major plot point there. This was in the 90s. Who did it have? I can't remember who was in the movie anymore. But yes, it was about the Osu caste system. This boy wants to marry this girl and she's supposed to be for this caste. Frankly, I thought that it was a thing of the past. But I think recently, maybe like a year or two ago, someone mentioned it to me at an event that the thing still happens. I was
Very
stunned.
much.
Yeah, I was stunned by it. So I don't know. So I don't know. So the hope, of course, is that this film is good enough that it's I don't know. I guess it makes us remember Onyeka Onwenu incredibly fondly. Part of the things I don't like sometimes with Nollywood is that you do a film and then everybody involved in the movie then looks bad because the movie was bad. And when somebody who just passed on and was as great as Onyeka is, I feel like it would be very nice if you have a project that's our last project that's going to honor what's it called now? Our life and our talents. Speaking of, there is a Konichiume, the South African lady, also died at the same age, I think 74, that Onyeka died within like a week or so. 74, 71, I can't remember now. Anyway, but she too is in a film or in a series that is about to come out. That's going to be like her last on-screen appearance in SA. I just thought I should mention that because Onyeka seems to have the same thing here, and he died within the same age and within like a week or 2 weeks.
All right, about Joseph Okechukwu, he's actually a filmmaker, but then he's been off the scene since 2017. So you can call this movie his comeback in 7 years. And one of the reasons, like I told you, that I picked the story up is just like the Afamefuna, I'm hoping this also sparks a conversation about this thing, the caste system. Now, in terms of the people that you're going to be seeing in the movie, the likes of Zach Oji, you have Hilda Dokubo, there is Enyina Wigwe and Cynthia Okereke and some other people. Do you have anything to say to that?
This sounds like a proper old Hollywood movie. Wow.
Actually, when I saw Hilda, I said, okay, this is going to be interesting. And Zach Oji, I wish there was Peter Doce there, actually.
Peter Doce.
And Stephen Okereke, who I haven't seen in a film in a long time too. Stephen Okereke has been out of the...
forgive me. Pete actually is there. I missed that part. I completely missed it. He's there.
So this is a proper old Nollywood movie. Unfortunately, that doesn't give me a lot of hope for the film, sadly, because I think that the old Nollywood filmmakers have not been able to acclimatize with where we are at. That's why a lot of them are stranded in the Asaba filmmaking spot and not the international or the national, I guess, variation of this stuff. So I am not going to hold my breath, sadly, but because of Onyeka, I would see if I can see the film.
The reason why I'm enthusiastic about it is I'm looking at the storytelling. I'm also looking at the acting. Remember what I said about the Osu caste system. And I'm feeling that these people are I don't know if I should say in a better position, but in terms of the portrayal, I really like the choice of the character, if you know what I mean.
So the problem is this: they are going to be too melodramatic for the subject. But I don't know. Let me not speak about what I haven't seen. So let me leave it at that. That's the problem I think I have with old Nollywood. A lot of melodrama.
But the melodrama is what makes it memorable. Some of the movies. Hold on. I mean, right now, when we look back to some of the movies that we've watched back then, I'm trying to remember now. And we looked at them and we see the level of drama. Like, why so much drama? It's what makes it really.
But no, people forget something when they see these clips show up again on social media. The Twitter form of viral content of clips is not even close to being the same form as a movie. So remember when Play Network made Aki and Popo, it was largely because the two characters were popular on social media. However, the movie did not make too much of sense, or in fact, any real ripple. Why? Because it is not the same form. When you're doing melodrama, it makes sense within like a minute or 2 minutes or whatever seconds on social media. A movie is like an hour, 2 hours. If you are going to be melodramatic all through, it is going to lose its flavor. And that's one thing people seem to forget. Anyway,
Well,
that's
people
that.
still watch lots of Bollywood movies, and lots of Bollywood movies are, I don't even know the word to use.
Yes, that's the particular tradition that they've built over the years. We have managed to move away from that tradition, one. And two, I don't think anybody currently in this room, I mean, like the virtual room we occupy right now, are people who are particularly fond of Bollywood. Maybe except you, Sheon, of course. But I wouldn't know.
Irabor.
See, the thing is, I agree with Oris because any movie, well, I won't say any, or majority of the movies I've watched that feature, let's say 70 to 80% of the old Nollywood actors, it doesn't really have any bearing. You're just watching it just maybe because you see them on screen, and that's about it, really. And they've not figured out how to fit into the new Nollywood of today that has digital mixed with cinema and everything. So yes, they're in Asabawood just doing what they need to do and all that. But again, this person hasn't done a movie since 2017, Abby. Let's see if there's been a sense of understanding of the industry, of some form of training that he has gone through, or something. I really don't know. But again, I always like to be, given a different sense as to something I already have an already preconditioned opinion about. So if they wow me with this, for sure, I would embrace it and I would, talk about it. But I don't think, it's going to be
You will not be
anything.
wowed. I can assure you, you will not be wowed.
Hey, pessimists, leave here. Let me spray some optimist spray
It's
or perfume.
pessimist with the required knowledge. You will not be wowed,
Go
but
away.
fingers crossed.
But again, Nollywood is changing. You just have one of those movies that just surprise you. Like there's a movie on Netflix, Mama Drama, that I saw. I was like, this movie is not bad though. And I just saw it
Was
there
it from an
hanging.
old Hollywood filmmaker?
No,
Irabor?
not an old Nollywood filmmaker. Now I'm just talking about based on just you expect a certain thing from Nollywood all the time, but there'll just be some of those movies that maybe one or two things just are better off than the normal grind. So again, this one I look forward to seeing it. I don't know if it's cinema or streaming.
It will be
Maybe.
cinema. I'm guessing it will be cinema.
It's streaming. YouTube streaming.
What do you mean? Anyways, I am bringing out my Odo optimists and spraying it here. Go away. Tayo on WhatsApp says there shall be crying in this Onyeka movie. As long as Hilda is there, I want to believe there will be lots of crying. I'm wondering why we don't have Patience Ozokwa there. It would have been so good. She would play the wicked stepmother who doesn't want.
You push your move, I beg. You push your move. Next story, please.
It's my slap later. You're not in control. Thank you. There shall be crying in this Oyenka movie. It might slap later in the years on social media. RIP to the stallion. Then Oluwaseun says, if this film is centered on the Osu system, it's going to be like Glamour Girls, Died Wretched. It will be worth watching. Well, fingers, toes, everything crossed on this one. Well, now let's take a little bit of a breather. And when we come back, we'll be talking about Christmases in Lagos. I think she's one of Oris's best filmmakers, Jadi Oshibero. So we're going to talk about the star-studded Nollywood holiday romance that is in the works. In her words, I cannot dance, but I can make films. We'll talk about that on Film Focus on Smooth 90.1.
They call me M.I. Mr. Incredible, short black boy, champion. You are listening to.
If you want to take over my show from me, okay, hold on.
Don't even think about it. Who you spend your time with will have a great impact on the life you live. Start your Sunday morning the right way, or smooth. 8.1.
Inspiring.
People that inspire us, challenge us, make us better. It's Smooth Motivations every Sunday morning with great motivational music for your mind, body, and soul to get you through your week. Don't give up. Smooth Motivations every Sunday, 7 a.m.
Oris, you don't write on this. You don't give your reviews on the film Efico.
I do, but I have to let other people write as well. I think my last review there is House of God, which is from a while ago. I wrote about the band stuff, but yeah, that's it.
You said?
I said my last review there was on House of God.
Okay.
But I also wrote about hanging out with the band for a day or two.
We're talking about film.
So yes, there's only House of God then. My name is only on House of God, I think. No vex. Coming
All
soon.
right, we're back. Love music, love life, love movies. You're listening to Film Focus on Smooth 98.1. My name is Oluwaseun, and I do have Oris and Irabor with me virtually, but that is not in any way reducing or stopping the fun that we're having. 46 minutes past 11 o'clock, you can always get your thoughts into WhatsApp 0809 444 0981. And the call line is 0201 448 9981. Let's talk about Jadi Oshiberu's Christmas in Lagos. Really star-studded because you have the likes of Auntie Shafi Bello, you have Wale Ojo, you have Richard Mofedamijo, you have Teniola Aladesha, you have Adekunle Gold, you have Ira Star, you have Ladipo, you have Folu Storms, you have Waje. Tell me, what are you looking forward to?
As you pointed out, I'm a big fan of Jajo Shiberu. Big fan. So I'm hoping that we get. I hope she gets better. Just with every movie she gets better. But this is like a fun movie, so I'm not sure that this is going to move anything much in her in terms of like critical acclaim or anything. Because like every holiday movie, it's not supposed to be too serious. It's mostly lighthearted, I believe. So that's what I'm looking forward to. But I wasn't quite happy with the way they did the promotion. They put out a photo, an image where they have what's her name? I think it was Shafi Bello kissing RMD. And I'm thinking to myself, like, if it's a romantic kind of movie and it involves these two characters, you are telling us that they end up together. I don't want that, because
no, let me help you.
Okay,
sorry for interrupting. Let me help you. So the plot, Irabor, I hope you're here with us. So the plot centers.
Yes, I know what the plot is. Okay, keep going.
Okay, so the plot centers on Finyi. Finyi is played by Teniola, who, after a recent heartbreak, is convinced her best friend, Elo, played by Shalom, and Shalom, that's CEO, Shalom Obiagu, is her soulmate. Now, complications arise when Elo, who's supposed to, be the soulmate of Finyi, who thinks that's her soulmate, assumption comes in. Now, Elo returns from New York and proposes to his own secret girlfriend, Wahala. Now, at the same time, Bemi, that's played by Shafi Bello, is caught between her longtime boyfriend, that's Wale Ojo, and a former lover and high school sweetheart, that's played by Richard Mofedamijo. Now, you see where that happens? So, meanwhile, another person, Ivy, played by Rachel Ojo, returns to Lagos for the holidays with the dreams of experiencing the ultimate dirty December. Unfortunately, or unexpectedly, she falls in love with Ajani. That is Ladipo. In other words, just expect twisted love triangles and I don't know. Now you can go on.
Well, yeah, but you see, one of them involves RMD and Shafi Bello, and I'm seeing a photo of the two of them kissing, and behind them, there are fireworks. If you know anything about romantic comedies, that's like last few scenes image all the time, where there's fireworks and blah, So I'm like, I don't want to know this thing yet now, when it's like how many months before the movie even premieres, not to talk about like it won't be at the end of the movie. So that's my huge, I just felt like in terms of like releasing images ahead of the movie, that image shouldn't have been released. Unless, of course, there's a big twist and then it happens in the first 5 minutes of the movie, then it's fine. But if it's happened at the end, I'm going to be very, very pissed about what they've done, because for me, it's just like wrong move. But yes, I'm a big fan of Jade, and I hope that, yes, she does what she's always done. And this takes her one step closer to like doing that masterpiece that I believe she's capable of. I think this also is related in a way to her first feature, which was Isoken, another romantic comedy as well. So yeah, and I like that. That was like a romantic comedy triangle, a girl and a black guy and a white guy. So I guess she's bringing back the same vibe here. She's always been a person who is in love with like colors and lightness and fun.
And she's just,
I think that is a very commercial filmmaker who just knows how to make it good, for the audience. So yeah, I hope that this is more in that vein. So this one I will hold my breath for, not for the old Nollywood film you guys mentioned earlier.
No, thank you. Well, according to Jadi, she says that this movie is an ode to the vibrant Nigerian tradition of Dirty December. Irabor.
Yeah, so one thing I'm loving Jade for is she knows how to diversify her portfolio. I mean, she's been part of Ayinla, she produced that one. She's been part of Brotherhood,
That
Sugar
was not a good
Rush.
film, Sha, but let me not speak further.
Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, you're expecting her to produce a masterpiece. So definitely you're saying that she gets better every time. So I wasn't really a fan of Ayinla. I understand what you mean. It was just somewhat of a celebration of color and culture, but there was nothing, there was no point to it at the end of the day. There was no crescendo. There was
Yeah,
nothing really
Kelani is just loose. Kelani has fallen off. That's my submission. But anyway, keep going.
about the place like the dances. But anyway, Brotherhood, Sugar Rush, The Trade, Isoke, Gangs of Lagos. So you have a bit of drama, action, thriller, rom-com, Yeah. So she has even done, those types of films before. So I'm expecting her to just have fun with this one, take a breather from us knowing her now as the action thriller drama queen of sorts. So I'm really not bothered about the fireworks, Shafi and RMD kissing because this movie is going straight to streaming. So she doesn't need to market it to make money off it. It's just going straight.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, she has made money already. She has been paid. She's sorted. So I feel this is just a feel good, have fun. Let me test the waters and see how well this movie can do during this period of Christmas. So it's something I'm looking forward to. I'm loving the marketing now that it's in August and September, October, November. You still have more stills and pictures and everything coming through. So it's something I look forward to. It reminds me of the Kunle Afolayan film with F.I. Wara and what's the name? Is it Night of Christmas or something? Something I can't remember that title. It's on Netflix, but that was also in a
yes,
solid
yes.
my own opinion. So we need more Christmas films. We need more period films. We need February films. We need, October films. We need middle of
I
the year
agree.
films, which is, we need those films. We need to look forward to those films. We need to now know, okay, these producers are people who will definitely bring these things for us. We know that Funke, we know that Tony.
I will need money to pay for subscription.
Yeah,
That's your
as
choice.
well. That too as well, because the budget now has increased with regards just maintaining your subscriptions, which is why at the end of the day, I'm also, leaning towards YouTube films now and just trying to see if there's any gold mine there with regards to the types of films that are there, if they are interesting to any particular degree. So again, it is what it is. I'm happy that Jade is still consistent. And I like the fact that we have a Jade and a Kemi Adetiba and like a Michael Jackson Prince. I know this is not the right parallel to use with those two, but what I'm just saying
But
is,
it's good. Or Beyonce, Taylor Swift, if you want to. But yeah, it's a very good thing to exist right now.
two people who can look at each other and be like, okay, what did that person doing? What is this? So there's a bit of friendly competition or even vile competition, however you want to look at it. But my point is that is motivation for them, in the industry, so that nobody's slacking at the end of the day.
Yeah. Good.
All right,
good.
quickly
Sorry.
to the messages.
Two seconds. Jade has made better movies, or rather more movies, but what's her name? Kemi has made the most influential one, which is King of Boys, which is a good thing to happen.
All right, Tayo on WhatsApp says, in case RMD needs stunt double for some scenes, I'm available. Show them Cam said there is no love in Lagos. Those guys didn't wait for Jade Oshibero to do her thing. Okay. Well, on a final note, I don't want us to end this conversation without touching on this. And in addition to it, I also want to mention how I think I was a little bit disappointed about the publicity for, I think, Onyeze or Onyegu, the one that was by Uche Jumbo, the one that came, the one that came to the streaming side. But that's, I think we had this conversation, and I said I was, looking forward to it, and that was when you talked about how we've had other football films. Now, this one is not about Onyegu. Now, this one they're doing better in terms of the publicity, and I'm talking about football film titled When Love Strikes. Now, the interesting thing is they called it Nigeria's first football film. I don't think
which is a lie. Which is a big chunky,
it's part of
heavy lie.
It's part of publicity now. How many people know about the one that you told me in 20 something? How many people know about Uche Jumbo Zone? They don't. So for a lot of people, this is actually the first because of the publicity and the awareness, and because of a number of people there. You have the likes of Chief Swore, you have Jimmy Akinshola, they were even backed by betting company. I mean, if you're going to do a football film, this is almost like a way to do it.
What type of
But
Kamala Harris question is all this one?
is
They just
that
open mouth.
How did Kamala become a punchline? Wow.
Yeah.
what?
First, the rest, let's do research now. Thank God that Phil Mefico is coming, so that they can be fact checking things.
All
Thank
right,
God,
go on.
Francis.
Now, interesting. The
Who,
funny
me?
thing
Irabor?
is, the funny part is, you remember the one by Uche Jumbo Onyegu. Zubi Michael was there, and then this one as well. Zubi
It
Michael
was
is there.
difficult too. And even
It
this
was
is done by Inkblot. The other film, The Prophetess, was done by Nia Kumaloyo, and they are friendly. So I'm just like, how are you guys
it's
not
like you're playing
aware
on
of
both
what?
sides. And so
Oh, no,
everything is
Nollywood,
part
they are
of
mad. They are
PR.
just crazy there. They are crazy over there.
Anyways, but I think going by the trailer, this is something to look forward to, especially with the partnership that he did or had with Remo Stars. The whole football thing, I think it was good enough. So Ty on WhatsApp says Yellow Card was one of the earliest football movie. I'm not sure if it was Nollywood. Don't worry, they are playing football. Don't panic. All right, gentlemen, let's wrap it up and go. Any final recommendation for today? Oh, by the way, in case I didn't even further tell you information about When Love Strikes, When Love Strikes, like we told you, is about football, and it will be out at the cinemas on the 13th of September. So we're almost in 13th. In September rather, about the people that you can look forward to in seeing in that movie. I told you about Jimmy Akishola, you have Chief Stewart, you have Zubi Michael, you have Vino Lugu, you have Sunshine Rosma, you have Demola Adedoyin, who I always look forward to seeing him act in movies. You have Bimbo Akintola as well. So final thoughts?
Final thoughts on this film or on the show?
Generally,
Which of them?
recommendations.
Recommendations. Yes, like I said, so Hollywood, there's a series coming out in a few weeks called Nobody Wants This. I think you see that. In terms of Nollywood, I'm not a big fan of some of the English movies, but I'm curious to see what they would do with the football movie. So that's definitely When Love Strikes. Let's see how that goes. And of course, my biggest recommendation is please visit filmefiko.com. FILMEFIKO.com. And yeah, we are on social media too, so you can also say hi there.
Okay, next week, we didn't get the chance this week, but next week we will have the chance to discuss Tyler Perry. This time, it's not about an angry
yes,
Black woman or divorce. It's about a biopic on the first and only Women's Army Corps unit of color to serve overseas in the World War II. And that will be on a streaming platform in December. So we're going to talk about the 6888. That's the title of the movie, but that will be next week. And you have to join us on Film Focus.
How about Venice? We should talk about the Venice Film Festival next week as well.
Of course, next week it would have been done, and we would have more to discuss next week. So thank you for being a part of it. As usual, Oris, you are a gem. Thank you for your presence and your takes. And to everyone who was on WhatsApp, Aya, Oluwaseun, Isaac, and many more, thank you for being there. Soon enough, I'll be playing you African tunes or music out of Africa on the Casbah. And you know, it's Friday, it's Golden Oldies, so we can as well walk down the memory lane and have ourselves a good time listening, not to songs, but to memories. This is Smooth 98.1.
Okay. Bye.
All right now, Fima Fico. See ya.